And we're live. This is the check-in show, episode 22. Claudio Capri, Don Xanklin, me, Paul Ash, and of course, the man with the finger, Mike Gamache. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. The bad finger here.
Welcome, everybody. So no one has cooked. No one has cooked through in the past little while. It's
No.
for those who are tuning in. We are Don represents Ottawa. Mike Gamache is the West Island of Montreal.
Yeah.
Claudio is in Sicily, and I'm in Verdun, Montreal. So sorry, it's Saint Leonard. Is the best neighborhood, Claudio?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was a time delay going to Sicily and coming back. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Everybody's surviving. The heat is
oppressive. Yeah.
I'm not
Pervasive and oppressive. Yeah.
I'm not doing very. I don't do very well in heat and extreme cold temperatures.
I spent 34 years as lighter carrier. I was outside in the heat in the summer and in the cold in the winter, and I got to tell you, the heat killed me. The cold I could take, no problem, but the heat was absolute. I would just like sweat like nobody's business, and I would, at the end of the day, I would be like a wrung out wet rag.
Oh, wow. Well, I was born in the Caribbean, so you'd think I'd get some sort of like a pass. No, but I go visit, I get heat rash. I'm not built for that, and I'm not built for the cold, so I don't know where I can live.
As far as being built for that, it's what is it? It takes the human body 2 weeks to adjust to a hotter climate. It takes it 1 week to adjust to a colder climate.
Yeah. That's
So
physiology.
It's your body's kind of internal cooling has to kick in.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 weeks is not a long enough vacation. Government, make sure it's mandated to 3 weeks. Like, make sure like it's like everybody has like 4 years of seniority, so we all get
the human body is better adapted to heat conservation than it is to heat like radiation.
That's not good news.
It will keep your core. It will keep your core warmer than your extremities in the cold, but in the hot, everything is hot. Everything is hot, and they're trying to pump out the heat of your circulatory system at maximum speed, and your pores can only open so wide.
Oh my God, this is not good news. I'm just starting hot flashes, and I'm just like, I'm going to be a microwave.
Welcome to those who are viewing. Say hello. Tell us where you're watching
Yes,
from.
hello.
Anything that you want to talk about. As much as we're complaining about the heat, let's please send some prayers to the people in British Columbia.
Yeah.
Let's gain some perspective here. Holy
47
crap.
point.
47.9, that was the record. That's 118 degrees Fahrenheit, guys. At 120 degrees, you cause first-degree burns on surfaces. So you can imagine if your car's out in the sun at 118 degrees of ambient temperature, you're looking at 140, 150 degrees of temperature inside your car. You have leather seats. You sit down, you burn your thighs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like a sunburn. You'll get a sunburn. You'll get a contact first-degree burn.
And this is a place where people aren't used to even having air conditioners because the weather isn't supposed to be that severe.
No, it's exactly. It's supposed to be that British Columbia, a lot of areas of British Columbia are considered like
Just
very
jump in, Claudio.
zone.
Mike doesn't shut up. We've been doing this long enough that Mike doesn't shut up. Claudio, speak up.
I was gonna say, this is global warming. So
Yeah, totally.
This is the climate change.
Yeah.
The object lesson.
Welcome, Lise.
Hey,
I just told your brother.
Hey.
he just told me shut up. I'm okay.
No, I didn't tell you to shut up. I just
No,
was
you
saying
said
that.
let Claudio speak. Please speak.
No. What
Claudio.
I said is
Claudio,
Mike
speak.
doesn't know how to. That's
there's a difference.
Yes.
Lise
Yes.
is actually. I think Elise is applauding that.
That's my bro. She knows me well.
The other thing is too. I grew up in the Halifax region of Nova Scotia, and because of that, like spring starts a little bit later, but fall goes a little bit longer.
Right.
And the influence of having the ocean right beside us meant that we don't have these extreme swings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like a 40-degree swing is something that I got used to here in Montreal.
Yeah.
Because we go from -10 to +30 within a space of a week or less.
Yeah.
And that's it's I love the city, but sometimes I don't want to be a puddle. I mean, Sunday night, Dawn and I were on together, and I started suffering like the preliminaries to heat stroke is called heat exhaustion.
Yes.
And that's what I got. So I ended up being very dehydrated. I have a nice IKEA desk, but it's old and there's a couple nicks in it. There's now a bunch of bubbles because my sweat hitting the desk hit those bubbles, and it's just the fiberboard just kind of swelled underneath it. So it's
the reason in heat exhaustion or heat stroke you get loopy is that your brain is designed to operate at a certain temperature range, and if it gets too hot or too cold, things kind of happen.
Yeah,
short circuit.
Sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that I've been brain damaged.
Most of the times though have been self-imposed though, right? Not.
Slightly. I think there is a natural chemical imbalance that doctors have recognized.
Okay.
All right, there is something because I know this is going to be for Claudio, and Claudio needs to talk about this. He hasn't brought it up yet, so I really appreciate his restraint. So I'm going to show a segment of a little bit of a video, and watch Claudio's face as this video begins to happen. Just a second. Let's see. Can I do this right? I'll do it this way.
When I was a kid, guys like me were brought up to follow codes.
Oh, Paul, lower the volume.
What'd you say? What?
No, turn off your volume or else YouTube's gonna...
Soprano.
I wonder if I can talk to you alone for a moment, Mrs. Soprano. On the basis of the Sanford Binet, he's high IQ.
You can't prove it by me. He's got a D+ average.
Well, he doesn't apply himself, but he is smart. The results tell us he's a leader.
Oh, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Paul.
That's because Claudia told me to shut up, and I shut up.
No. No.
I know. It was the echo. I got it.
Also, you had to play that on mute there because YouTube is not because YouTube catches this.
As long as we're giving like a little bit of a review and excitement and giving it as a reaction video, then that's fine.
Okay, so, perfect.
Plus, my channel's not monetized, so I'm not making money off of Warner Brothers from doing this.
Perfect.
So go, Claudio. Go, run with it.
Granted, if anyone wants to support the channel, that's completely separate from what they just saw, because this show is about us. You can do that using the link tree below, and it does say what's it say? Buy me a drink. That's the kind of thing that helps pay for the system that I'm using here. So Claudio, you got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Senate, you got 2 minutes to speak. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm actually excited for this. So I don't have much to say. I mean, I just saw the preview last night because Sarag, who was at Muller's with me, and Gable and Massey, like, hey, the Many Saints of Newark trailer came out. I'm like, no way. So then I went home and I saw it, and I'm like, this is going to be a movie that I finally been waiting for, but it's been years late. In my opinion, they should have done this, because if James Gandolfini was still alive, they would have done like a continuation of the film, so it'd been both a prequel and a sequel at the same time. But it's also kind of interesting to see how the main character got to where he is, and plus it's also an all-star cast. You got James what's his name? Joe Bern, is that his name? Joe Bernthal, the one who played the Punisher. What's his name?
Yeah, he's in it as well.
Yeah, there we go. And
Bernthal.
Yeah, Bernthal. Yeah. Then you have Paul Magnuson, who's going to be playing Polly. Joey Diaz. Then you have Michael Gandolfini, who is the son of the late James Gandolfini, playing the young character. So I'm just curious on how on how this film is going to be, and I'm actually and one of the things is that if you watch the trailer, at the end of it, you have the theme song from the TV show. And also it's going to be going to theaters, so it's going to be pretty good.
I actually go ahead. Sorry, I to interrupt. Go.
I just want to say because and I hope this is going to be a very long film because there's a lot going on. It's also going again with the story also centers on the Black Panther movement during the 60s. So the Multisanti were called Saints of Newark. They have a lot of ties with the Black Panther. So I hope there's like a lot of things going on in this film. As I mentioned, I hope it's 3 hours long because there's a lot going on.
Because you just want more and more.
Exactly.
I watched the trailer. I assumed it was going to be a series or at least a mini series when I watched the trailer.
Just a one-off movie?
It's just a one-off film then.
Oh.
Yeah, they're planning on doing a one-off. A mini series after the film.
Okay.
So that's going to be something.
So yeah, that maybe they'll
This
expand
is
more.
sort of like the origin story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just it is. It's an origin story.
And James Gandolfini was a phenomenal actor, from what I can see from the trailer,
His son
Michael is
picking up the
definitely talented. So
yeah.
Ooh. So I preempted us by throwing that out because one of the things we always talk about is what are you looking forward to in entertainment? And I knew Claudio.
There's that and the Suicide Squad. I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Yeah, James Gunn in the Suicide Squad. Has anyone ever seen Super? I believe that was
I saw
James
Super.
Gunn. That was James Gunn, was it?
I think he had something to do with this. I'm not sure if he directed it or produced it.
He was the director. It was I believe he was the director. I can look it up and double check. But but
true.
it's Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page before he
Liv
transitioned.
Taylor.
And who? Sorry.
Liv Taylor.
Yes. Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler. Yeah. So she's played elves, and she's been the daughter of Steve Tyler from Aerosmith. But she's got a small role in it. Elliot Page is hilarious, though. There's some very creepy moments in Super. It's Rainn Wilson because it's our basically kind of our world, and Rainn Wilson feels a calling to become a superhero.
Does he have superpowers?
No one has superpowers. It's our world.
Oh no.
So he makes himself a costume and decides that his superpower is a pipe wrench.
Oh my god!
It's pretty violent.
Yeah. In certain circumstances, a pipe wrench could be considered a superpower.
Unless you drop it.
Well, yeah.
There's like the scene when he jumps out of guys and then they pull out their guns. It's just
ooh, yeah. Ooh, never thought of that possibility.
Yeah, but he's it's a bit hyper violent, and Elliot Page discovers him and decides that they want to be his sidekick. So
do we know what Elliot Page's superpower becomes?
Batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Because never underestimate batshit crazy. Batshit crazy as a superpower. It's
the most random of superpowers.
Yeah. Now the thing is, Rainn Wilson is married to Liv Tyler, but she sort of dumps him, and starts dating a drug dealer, and that's sort of what inspires Rainn Wilson to take down
the drug dealer.
that mob. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember the name of the actor who plays the drug dealer. He plays some really skeevy people. Like he does it really well. He's very kind of Weasley faced guy.
Typecasting much.
You know what? If I was working regularly with high quality actors, I wouldn't mind being typecast. So,
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Batshit
crazy. One of the two things you would never want to turn your back on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the famous words of Hunter S. Thompson, you can turn your back on a man, but never turn your back on a drug. Because somebody in a drug, batshit crazy or drug fueled crazy, those are the two you don't want to screw around with.
No, definitely not.
Like a good life lesson.
Yeah.
PCP. Yeah. Like Michael Rooker is in it. Sean Gunn, of course, is in it. So all the people that normally work with. Nathan Fillion is in it as well.
I can never take Nathan Fillion seriously in a role because he's always got that little smirk. He's always got this sort of like he's in on the joke. You're not in on the joke, but he's in on the joke, and he's having a great time.
Sounds like a Jimmy Fallon method acting.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Except he's better than Fallon at it. So
exactly. We don't hear the actual laugh.
Yes, you don't. Yeah, Fallon laughs at his own jokes.
Oh yeah,
Fillion doesn't. Fillion just gives you that look, like did you get that one?
You gotta say, like, one of the Drew Carey.
Yeah.
One of the endearing things about him is he laughs at his own jokes.
Yes.
Like when he was doing stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
But
seriously.
he did it in a way that is not like Fallon. Fallon cracks up and does it over the top.
Yeah.
Drew Carey would chuckle at his own jokes. He wouldn't outright. He'd break up at other people's bits, but at his own bits he would chuckle, which was sort of like a trigger.
I was walking down the street, and then I saw a car, and I got in it.
Yeah, that's Fallon. That's
totally.
Actually, one day I do want to do a joke that bad and this chuckle at my own, like at my own shenanigans. Like, so I got out of bed and I went to the bathroom. Actually, that for some reason that reminds me of Family Guy because I forgot which episode it is. So Family Guy did a joke of where Peter was making, like, I didn't know they were, since you brought it up, I didn't know they were making fun of Jimmy Fallon, right? And Peter's like, I want to have a day like Jimmy Fallon. So I woke up today. I went to Meg and I told her we're going shut bing. I'm like, oh no. See, when I first saw that, I'm like, oh, this is horrible. But now I'm understanding. Oh God, that's what Jimmy Fallon.
I think you doing that now was funnier than Fallon. But
I want to do that one day. I just want to go on stage. I want to be like, hey guys.
Yeah, but you know what? It's such a perfect. I mean, any type of take you do on that is such a perfect caricature of his thing that it's almost hack. Because it's like it's like this is Jimmy Fallon. Like, it's been done by Fallon badly.
Exactly.
I do want to point out I made a mistake. The actor I was thinking was the main bad guy is not the main bad guy. Is not in it. The person who is the main bad guy though is Kevin Bacon.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Kevin Bacon.
You can't go wrong with Bacon in anything.
Well, sorry, Invisible Man. Invisible Man was a little bit.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Watch Invisible Man 2? Oh dear God! Yeah,
did he do a sequel one before the reboot happened, or?
Who? Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, because Kevin Bacon did the Invisible Man with, was it Elizabeth Shue?
Yeah, they did. But then there was a sequel with Christian Slater this time, and that was directed by Claudio Fa. I'm like, oh God! And it went straight to DVD.
Has Christian Slater, has he had the paternity test yet? Has he been recognized?
No, because every time you see a film, most likely you see him go, it's Christian Slater. Oh, he's in there. Oh, Just like Jason Clarke, right? For people who don't know who Jason Clarke is, he's an actor that's in almost every film and TV show. But when you see him, you don't like. For example, the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. He was one of the main human characters. No one realized it was Jason Clarke. Or even in Public Enemies, he with Johnny Depp and Christian Bale. He played Johnny Depp's best friend. No one noticed it was Jason Clarke. So with Christian Slater, every time you see a TV show or a movie, you're like, sorry, Mike.
Oh, my light just went on.
So every time you see Christian Slater, you're like, all right. So it's so it was not a bad movie, or was a bad movie. Christian Slater was in there, right? Even like, for example, the biggest movie I remember him by was in Alone in the Dark, directed by Uwe Boll. Mm-hmm. Dear God, what a. Anyways, so that was
a little cameo there by my wife.
She'll have us take it down. But do you know who Christian Slater originally was telling everyone his father was?
Jack Nicholson, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, I was wondering that.
Claudio's eyes just went wide open. He just woke up. Yeah, that was the entire thing, and that was like in oh crap! What was the Tarantino scripted movie?
True Romance.
True Romance. That was like he was imagining himself sort of as his dad in the role.
Huh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or his alleged dad in the role.
Yeah, someone really needs to do a DNA test.
Yeah. Because if Christian Slater doesn't even know where he's from, man, I'm sorry.
There are pictures of his mom and Jack Nicholson together.
Yeah.
I mean, not together.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that. I'm like, yeah, no, people could take pictures together, but we don't know exactly if they're.
But apparently Slater said that his mother had told him that, and Jack Nicholson was sort of denied. But I don't know if they warmed to each other at some point, because I think they did do one film together. I'm not positive. So. I'd have to check.
But True Romance was a really good movie.
Yeah, Wild at Heart and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Very Bad Things. If you have not seen this, this came out sort of in the post Pulp Fiction world, like, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Right.
And these type of films that came out. It is like a very dark version, like with the level of sort of gross out stuff going on, that like American Pie, like the humor is so dark in Very Bad Things.
I remember it.
The opening scene is these friends have gotten together for a bachelor party, and they're in a hotel room. They had hired a stripper, and then there's party favor, and one of them sort of takes the stripper up on it. They go in the bathroom and they're having sort of wild sex, and he's bouncing her off the various walls, but then she hits the towel rack or towel hook.
Yeah.
In the back of her head.
Oh.
And then when he steps back, she's left hanging there.
I don't know why. I've seen this film twice. Also in film class, I can't. It's hard for me to watch. I do not know what it is. I just cannot get into it.
No, it is. It is hard to watch. It's got very, very dark humor.
Yeah.
Because it's the friends all decide, okay, we're going to get rid of the body.
Yeah.
We're going to cover this up.
Yeah.
And then it's everything about the fallout going to, and things just keep on getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it's a cascading film of things just. Yeah,
exactly.
That's the worst.
I can't. And then I remember in film class, like, because there were some nice shots of the beginning, and the teachers is like, well, if you see here, you can see the long take of the you said she was a hooker, Paul, or she was a stripper?
Hooker
Yes.
stripper, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
She
you
was a
see
sex
a-
worker.
Yeah.
Let's just
You
say
see-
that.
Yeah, put it that way.
Yeah, so you see a sex worker, her head gets smashed into this towel hook. I'm like, this is great. We're watching in public in class of 40 students of a sex worker's head getting bashed. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Was this an intro to film class or
Yeah,
like what?
I still remember FMST 200.
Wow.
And then we had to write like film journals, and at the end I just wrote like, this film made me very uncomfortable, and then that was the longest film journal I had to write. But I'm like, and the teacher's like, you could see it at the special, and he takes like his laser, points it at the blood, goes, it's not real blood. I'm like, well, I hope it's not real blood.
Thanks for clarifying
This
that.
actress. They
The,
had
the
Thank
special
you.
effects at the time, the special effects were very good.
Yeah.
But and the fact that it played as a comedy. I mean,
Oh, it was comedy.
Yeah.
a very dark
comedy.
comedy.
You basically have to have the stomach for this. Like,
So
Wow.
Pulp Fiction sort of started this, like kind of criminal. All these funny kind of criminal things came out. Like Owen and Luke Wilson's first film, which they funded themselves. Bottle Rockets is also something else that grew out of that. It was a very low budget indie kind of film.
Yeah.
And a hallmark of like all of those movies that sort of took from Pulp Fiction were that there was a lot of humor.
Yeah.
In all
Same
of them.
thing.
So.
I found Reservoir Dogs also had humor.
Yes,
as well.
very dark humor, but very like tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Very.
Steve Buscemi's character.
Look what we're doing here. Look what we can get away with here.
Well, I mean, I was speaking more of the dialogue. Like the whole conversation about deciding who's going to be Mr. Pink.
Yeah.
That to me, to this day, that is the most beautiful dialogue I've
Well,
ever.
it's such a contrast against all of the violence in there. So
Yeah.
it really worked really
That's
well.
a hallmark. That's a hallmark of Tarantino's.
Yeah.
Kill Bill 1 and 2 had a lot of in jokes of it too, and little nuggets here and there that you go ha. Like you're laughing, and it's like, oh yeah, and look at all this violence. By the way, Django had stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true romance, which Tarantino didn't direct, but he scripted.
Yeah.
Tony Scott directed.
Has the scene with Dennis Hopper being interrogated by Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
and Dennis Hopper sort of recognizes at some point that he's not gonna live through this.
Exactly.
And so he just tries to bait Christopher Walken into a quick death. And it's the extremes that he's going to, like Dennis Hopper just talking about the origin of Sicilians. And it is
the only.
And also the Gary Oldman's monologue that he does, like that was used in the TV show Barry.
Yeah.
So in like the first couple episodes of Barry, that was so again, it's like it's over the top, but there's a definite humorous undertone to it.
Exactly. And Samuel Jackson was in there for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Tom Sizemore and True Romance. I actually saw it last week. I'm like, I want to buy this film because I have like I'm trying to get almost all Quentin Tarantino films, and I'm just missing a few of them. But I don't know how relevant that is to this conversation.
I saw him on Bill Maher not long ago, and he's saying that his next movie is going to be his last.
Why?
But Quentin.
Here's why. Here's how he justified it to Bill Maher. He said I don't want he says I want to do one last good movie and then stop. He says because I do not want to be one of these directors that the last movie they make, everybody goes, "Oh, that was shit," and that's the movie that becomes your hallmark.
You better not do Star Trek. That's what I don't want that.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
So when I hear conversations coming from this, like from Quentin Tarantino or Steven Soderbergh, they're always saying, "Oh, it's gonna be my last film," but yet
no, he was dead serious about this.
Quentin,
he told Bill, he says this is going to be my last film.
Well,
He says, first of all, he's got a young kid. He got married not long ago. He says, I've done all the things that I've wanted to do, with the exception of what I'm working on for this last movie. He says, all the things that I've wanted to do in film, I've done. And I've done fairly well, in my opinion, he said. But he says, I don't want to deteriorate. I don't want to start deteriorating. And he didn't mention by name, but he said, I don't want to sort of like go the Woody Allen route, where Woody Allen is like, some of his latest movies are just trash.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't want to sound like a cinema connoisseur, but I'm saying, like, I've seen a few of them, like, so far, and my favorite Woody Allen film is Wonder Wheel with Justin Timberlake. It was actually and Cafe Society. Now those two were actually really good films, but as other films, I'm like, oh dear God.
Well, I don't know if he was referring to Woody Allen, but he has a beef, a long-standing beef with Oliver Stone.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And Stone is going.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing that Tarantino has said. Like, we're talking about the violence of his films, and Don, you referenced Reservoir Dogs as a very violent film.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually like union rules about this too, about how much of the film you can show before the credits start.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever see a movie and there's like a long intro scene with stuff happening before the credits start, they had to pay a penalty to be able to do that. So it has to be very important to the film.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when Reservoir Dogs, when they were talking about violence in media and such, the U.S. government had like a panel on this, and one of the senators got up and said that, one of the downfalls of America is the propagation of films like Reservoir Dogs that are extremely violent. What we need to have is much more pro-American films, such as True Lies.
Oh.
Now, in the opening of True Lies, just in the opening before the credits, there are more gunshots fired. There's more bullets firing than there are in the entire film Reservoir Dogs.
That's true. But you know what? Be that as it may, True Lies is a fun film.
It's a very fun film. It's just if you're gonna point out some of Tarantino's films for violence, fuck Arnie.
The big thing too is the fact that what he did in his film that was different than True Lies was he gave a much more realistic depiction of gun violence.
Yeah,
that's true.
What happens is when a person gets shot, the NRA does not like that.
No, they don't.
Okay.
They don't.
Right?
I recall
the NRA puts a lot of money into politicians.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Mike. We're going to say something.
It's okay. I recall a particular when they had a bunch of school shooting stuff, and when the whole thing about American gun violence really started gelling in the media and in public opinion. I remember one particular segment that was broadcast where there was this kid in I think it was during the LA riots or something like that, and the violence in South Central and all that. And there was they were interviewing this 14-year-old kid who was like who had been in a drive-by shooting or something like that. And they were interviewing him, and he said, people were like, bullets were flying and stuff like this. And then I got shot, and he said, like, my God, that fucking hurts. Like
he was surprised?
Like he was surprised that a gunshot would involve pain.
Oh my God.
I really think Last Action Hero is an underrated film for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah. Commando.
Well, no, but the thing about Last Action Hero is it is an action hero star who comes through the screen and into the real world.
Yeah, that's true.
And at one point he actually gets shot.
Yeah.
And it's like I
don't
want to give away the ending, but it's like it's kind of it's a big surprise and the trauma and the pain for him.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, nobody takes 5 or 6 bullets, gets up, and starts firing back.
Well, I mean, unless you're on drugs, and
but even then, I mean, you have to be on some serious intravenous drugs, pumping full time by the
the amount of people in the United States who have lost their front teeth because they watched action films where the guy shoots the gun sideways.
Oh dear God! Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yes. I didn't even think about that. I thought it was only machine guns.
No. Actually, it's an important part because we're talking about the NRA stuff, and I remember for Django, Quentin had to fight for the scene. Remember, did anyone watch Django Unchained?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So there's a scene where Django has to leave a mansion, but the bad guys are shooting at him. But they're shooting. The bullets are going slow motion, and they hit one of the bad guys, and the bad guy is on the floor covered in blood as the shooting is occurring. So bad guys keep shooting the man on the floor, and you see the bullet going through his leg, and it blows up. And then the bad guys are saying racial slurs towards Django, but there's like that slow motion shootout scene. The NRA are like, no, we can't. No, we can't let this through. But then Quentin's like, oh well, it's because it's a true depiction of gun violence. Like that's what I want to have in the film. He goes, I'm not doing this not only for shits and giggles, but I want to do this because I want to represent guns or So that was a fascinating scene. But at the same time, I'm like, oh.
There was a television thing on, I think it was on PBS. It might have been Frontline, where they spoke to trauma surgeons about the damage that bullets do to human beings. The internal. They said often people think, oh, it's a through and through. The bullet goes in and comes out. That's not how modern bullets behave in the human body. A lot of them are designed to fragment and spin inside the body, and it tears it. It's like if you took a food processor and just ran it through somebody's body.
How do they fix that?
Yeah, it's like, and not just that. It's some of them. The impact alone sends such a shockwave through the body that it actually liquefies tissue.
Also the scratch. Like when a bullet's like because this is gonna be minor, but it goes not minor, but you know what I mean. It's like it might
like grazed by a bullet.
Yes, but it also might be rusty, right? Or you never know if they dipped it in poison. So even a scratch.
It's usually it gets pretty damn hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get hot from the explosion of the bullet firing, there's the friction of the air.
Yeah.
That's why they burn. Yeah. I mean, I got rhabdomyolysis from sprinting, which is a tear in the muscle, which could have killed me and shut down my kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ouch!
Yeah,
and that happened. That happened like just stupid because I didn't warm up. Now the idea of a bullet going through your muscle, that's going to cause that has a very strong chance of causing rhabdomyolysis as well.
Yeah,
guns are not fun toys.
No, they are not.
We're well over half an hour at this point. So, what are you all looking forward to in the future? What do you have coming up that you want to kind of mention to everybody?
Go, Claudio.
No, I'll go last.
You're in the hot seat, man.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to be at the Comedy Nest July 7th and 14th at Mount Melrose. And then, usually Dirty 4 episode coming out this Sunday night. And Dirty 4 open mic, more information about that coming within a week or two. And that's it for now.
All right. And Mike.
Well, I'm not having any shows lately because I'm still sort of the lifeline for my mother-in-law, but I have tossed my name in the hat for Comedy Nest's open mic, and I've gotten a spot on August 4th. So nice. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be revamping my act and doing a little bit of new stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will be popping in and seeing Claudio at the Nest, and probably catching a few other places, just some open mics and shows, local shows, just to sort of get myself back into the scene.
Dawn.
Well, I can talk about two things. There was something I just did. I talked about the business of stand-up comedy and what I learned from, innovators who are with more experience than my 4 years about how to make money in stand-up. And that's actually available in replay on the artpreneurs.com website. And if people can follow me on you can Google Don Xanklin and find me on Instagram. You can get a link to my website, and all of the shows, including the Artpreneurs, are in there. And also the thing coming up that I'm really excited about at the last Sunday of July is going to be I'm going to be on the Soul Sisters showcase. It's produced by Suitman Productions out of Seattle. It's an all Black women funny lineup, and I was supposed to be on June, but unfortunately there were a couple of unforeseen circumstances and that was canceled. But I'm really happy that they were able to book me in on July, and I can be funny again with a whole bunch of other comics I'd watch anyway. So, I'm really, really excited about that. COVID.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was I going to say? All right. Tonight is actually the last Wednesday night, the Love Doctor live stream. Tonight is the absolute last one. We have the amazing Foxy Lexi is going to be on the show, who is just utterly amazing. She's, I wish I could remember all the titles that she's won in the past 3 years, from Best Newcomer in Las Vegas just amazing. And of course, Kaya Coca will be back as well on that show. And then after that, we're going to be moving to Sundays. So this is the last Wednesday night one. Why am I moving it off of Wednesday? Anyone have an idea why I'm going to be moving the Love Doctor live stream off of Wednesday?
Is Vaudeville coming back live?
It's coming back live July 21st. So that's going to be the first opening day of the Wiggle Room. We're going to have COVID protocols in place, so there are going to be limited space. So tickets, of course, are highly recommend buying in advance for a group, because we have group seating. That's the way it's going to be working. What else do I have coming up? Oh, I just received an offer from the Calgary Funny Fest. So next year, from June 2nd to June 8th, I'll be in Calgary for the Funny Fest.
Terrific!
Nice.
Congratulations.
Just gonna hammer out those final little details, and I'll be on set, I think, next week as well. So
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. E77, Claudio? Are you doing E77?
The secret one.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then it's, I think, July 6th and 8th, or 4th and 8th, or something like that are my dates.
Actually, no. We'll talk. We'll
talk after.
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, all that wonderful stuff is going to be happening. I haven't got a date yet for. No, I do have the date. 14th, I'm going to be my first show back at the Nest.
Okay.
So I would like to get some more dates, but that's going to be. It's slow coming out, but I'll be performing in and around, and plus online. And just to put that up there again is the link tree. It's just running at the bottom. That has access to all my online shows and how to find me on social media. I've been Paul Ash. My wonderful guests have been the amazing Don Xanklin, the ever popular Claudio Capri, the effervescent Mike Gamache. There we go. Yeah.
There we go.
I said Mike Gamache, and Claudio had to cover his eyes.
At least you didn't describe me as bubbly.
That's only at comedy shows, Mike. That's only at comedy shows.
Okay. Effervescent
good. Effervescent is good.
Yeah, it is bubbly though.
It is bubbly, but in a nice way. It's more refined bubbly.
It's more refined bubbly. I want to thank anyone who's tuned in and has watched this.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
I love you all.
Yes, goodbye.
Bye-bye.